Section 9222 is titled Transformations of Sine and Cosine. We're going to be looking at the phase shift today, which is on pages 41 to 43. So by the end of the lesson, you will be able to transform the sine and cosine functions with a phase shift. So the first one is to start with your regular parent graph, sine of x, and then you're going to complete the table for the transformed graph of sine of x minus pi over 4. So you're going to start with whatever you have at 0, and then you're going to subtract the pi over 4, which is going to put you at negative rad 2 over 2. And then if you have pi over 4 minus pi over 4, you get 0. You get another positive rad 2 over 2. You subtract pi over 4 from 3 pi over 4, you get 2 pi over 4, which is just 1. If you plug in pi minus pi over 4, you're going to get 2 pi over 4, which is where you have rad 2 over 2, and then it starts repeating. Okay, so if you go to graph it, I graphed the parent function in green down here. There's our parent function, and then I did the phase shifted in pink. So it's just shifting it to the right by 1/4 pi. So did the amplitude change? No. Did the midline change? No. Did the period change? No. None of that changed. The only thing is it's shifting the graph to the right because it's subtraction by 1/4 pi. Okay, so part D says hypothesize, describe, or sketch what you think would be different if you had the transformed graph of the sine of x plus pi. So that would shift it left, because we're adding here, by a full pi. Okay, so down at the bottom is our generalization. How can we add this in our equations that we looked at the other day? So let's write the new equation. So inside the parentheses here, we're going to add or subtract some phase shift. We'll call it C. Same for cosine. We'll add or subtract some phase shift. So it's going to move it left if you add, right if you subtract. All right, turn over to the top of page 42. All right, at the top of page 42, we're going to do example 1 together, and then we're going to do A together, and then you'll do B, C, and D in your groups of 4. So for A, we have the transformed graph 5 times the sine of the quantity x minus pi over 2. So the 5 is just going to change the amplitude. That's going to give us an amplitude of 5. The midline stays the same. Period stays the same. And then we have this phase shift right here. Subtract means we're going to move it right, and we're going to move it by pi over 2. Okay. You're going to look in your groups for B, C, and D. All right, flip over to page 43. Page 43, they just want us to graph 2 of them. So for the transformed graph 5 cosine of pi minus pi, the amplitude is going to be 5, midline stays at 0, period stays at 2 pi, so we're going to have the whole period get in there, and then the phase shift is it's going to shift right by pi amount. Okay? And then part B, I want you to do in your group of